Okay. I'm gonna try to keep this relatively short. Um, I kind of feel like I'm in. I have this dilemma, and it kind of makes me feel like a hypocrite because I know that there isn't an easy answer, and I can't practice what I preach, and that feels really hard. Um, so I see a lot of videos in my recommended of people sharing how they're feeling lonely, depressed. And a lot of those videos, their situations, you know, vary, but I feel uh, like my situation is kind of paradoxical in a way. I don't see it as bad, and it kind of makes me feel guilty for complaining. Like I kind of have some support group. And I mean, I'm not comfortable to share how I feel really in detail with them. So I'm just trying to get it out in any way because I can't keep going like this. And I guess if you've seen some of those other videos, then you know how it is if you're here. And I know that there are people who know what it's like to feel the way that I'm feeling right now. I don't really have a friend in that isn't online in some capacity, and usually they're busy with their own stuff, or they're awake at different times than I am. Um, and for a while that I've been friends with them, I haven't really shared many emotions with them. Like, I've been happy around them. I've been upset and stuff like that. But it's not expressing it. It's just happening in proximity. And the strange thing is that I know a lot of these same people that I would help with hard times, with whatever they're going through, just like whatever. I was the open ear, shoulder to lean on. And I guess I know they would do the same for me, but I kind of just can't find it to really say what it is. I feel like in my life I have very little control. And the strange thing is I know that that's anxiety. I've been depressed for a while, and I know that it's you know, not all like real. Some of these problems are just from stress and things of how it is to be in the world and society that we live in. And it's strange because I sort of know these things. Like, I've explained to friends on many different occasions advice that I cannot follow. I don't know why. Uh, I I can't sort of put things into practice. And it kind of makes me feel like a hypocrite. Because I know that these are problems that I know the answer to, but on the test I'm still getting it wrong. And I walk home and I think about what I put down on the paper and I think, well, that's wrong what I did. And I know what the right answer is, so why didn't I just put that down? It's beyond me, I guess. Another thing is, I haven't really wanted to be alive sometimes. You know how it is. Probably. I would hope so. Well, I don't hope so. You get what I mean. Okay. But I know that it gets better in my head. It has to. And it does for people who make it. But for me, no. I, like I said, I've been there for friends that I have that I won't talk to for reasons that are completely that I'm oblivious of. And I've told them that it gets better, and I've watched it happen in real time. I've watched them slowly grow into something better. And for me, I just think, well, that doesn't seem possible. But it's like a logical fallacy. But I don't know, I probably sound insane. But it feels like, another thing that I guess is, along the same vein, because I also know I want an out, evidently, and I feel, useless, like, a burden sometimes. But then I think about what would happen if I were gone, and I know that it would be harder on the few people that love me to die. So I'm useless when I'm alive, and I'm a burden when I'm dead. And I just feel trapped. And, I guess how it feels right now is that if I were to just kind of let myself drift aimlessly for a while, I would kind of just sit in this chair and eventually I'd keel over. And I have to sort of will myself to do anything. And sometimes it's easier. There are things that I care about that I want to do. But, okay, for an additional piece of context, I'm also not neurotypical in a few senses of the word. And I've sort of only come to realize that relatively recently in my life. And so part of this is that nothing is a habit for me. So like eating food, going to bed, brushing my teeth, whatever. It's something that I have to think to do every time I do it. Always. And it just feels like if I can't like will myself to do something, that'll just be it. For for a long time, I've kind of not had too much difficulty making friends, but the friends that I make usually tend to be not good to me, at least for a while. And so for a long time, sort of telling friends how I feel and being vulnerable and open with them isn't something that I could do. Or back then, if I did do it, it would not be rewarded. And so now I'm in a situation where I think I do, have people who would listen besides yours truly. But it's I like the feeling is so third person. It feels like there's a part of my brain that's watching me from somewhere else and going, why can't this guy just see what's in front of him? And I don't know. It feels like there's something working against me or something like that. I feel like things that I know and that I could be or should be doing, that there's just something that's like cutting me off. And I even kind of know what that is. Um, I kind of have this executive dysfunction that I don't want to self-diagnose, but I've definitely, you know, some very ADHD signs of things that I do and behaviors that I have, uh, and things that my friends have told me and that my parents have noticed, or all of that stuff. And I kind of know that this is a way that ADHD can happen in people. I know that it's different for a lot of people who have it. Um, and it feels like sometimes like if there's like a task or something that I want to do, and when I want to do it, it just feels like stuck. Like I can't work up enough willpower to just go do it, even if it's something like that I want to do. And it's hard, I guess. It's hard feeling like I have to make myself do everything all the time. And if I want to stop, I hurt everyone I care about forever. And I never get to get any better than right now. And I'm tired of feeling like I'm living in a logic puzzle that I'm not smart enough to solve. So I think that's about everything I wanted to say. Um, if you end up watching this and you're feeling the same way, I don't know. I I hope that there's a way that this uh, makes sense. And yeah. So I guess if you're here, thanks for listening. And that's it. Yeah. Have a good night.